Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel for part 18 of Grand Theft Auto 3. I hope that everybody had a good Thanksgiving and a good weekend as well. I did wait to post this video just to enjoy my Thanksgiving, and as well I did have to pull in some hours at work over the weekend, but now that's over. I have a little bit of it left before I do go back at it again and get to posting videos more regularly. This episode I'm going to do the 2 Rampage missions as well as a few of the main story quests for Ray, which are extremely fun. They're a little bit difficult, so I do have some tips for that as well as these Rampage missions. This first one being killing 25 yardies with hand grenades. My best piece of advice is if you can get them to follow you and then toss a grenade behind you, and they should all cluster up by it, and it'll take out as many as possible. And as well, getting the extra armor, because your health is going to go down very fast during this rampage, whether it be from accidentally blowing yourself up or taking bullets and bat hits from these Yardie people. But yeah, especially if you hit yourself with a grenade, it is going to do a pretty good amount of damage to you. Now this is pretty much a one-hit kill weapon, but they do like to run around, which can make it difficult. And sometimes I found when I was throwing the grenades, they just would not explode for some reason. So this one might take some patience and time. As I said before, these are only the primary locations for these. And you do get a good chunk of money when you finish it. But you definitely want to have some extra armor. I'd say that's almost a necessity for this mission, for this rampage. As well as a lot of the other rampages, you just really want to have body armor, as it helps you out extensively. Words cannot explain how much they actually help you. But no, yeah, back to talking about Thanksgiving and stuff. It was a good one this year, but it was really weird as well. Just not the same as it has been the last years, and before this COVID, we would always get together as a family, and that was something that I missed. And it really was different this year. Hopefully the next year things can start getting back to normal. I was actually talking to somebody at work, and she said the same thing about it's just so weird that, you know, everybody's keeping to themselves on the holidays, and she was hoping that by Christmas this would be over. Me personally, I don't think so. It's starting to get really bad again, so it's to the point where we're just having to make do with what we have. But yeah, it's really weird, you know. I don't know. Maybe you feel the same, maybe you don't. But that's just how I feel on the matter. So this second rampage I'm doing is blowing up cars with an M16. The best is to get them to stop and not stand too close, but the M16 has a really good amount of recoil on it. As right there, I just missed 2 vehicles entirely. Sometimes it's best to get them to stop in front of you and just open fire on the car, but like right there, I already took away most of my armor by trying to blow it up. And then those people started attacking me, and well, it did not end out so good for them. Now, during this rampage, for some reason, cars will actually blow up more than once, so try to stay away from cars that you blow up. I mean, you want to do that anyways, but I mean like right after you blow them up, because it's possible that they could blow up once more. And it actually will still count to the number of cars that you need blown up. But it's one of those things that it could possibly kill you. Wow, that was like the most southern way of saying it. You'll murder me. Okay. That works for me. I'm from the South. Alright, so that one gives you $65,000. But yeah, no, just everything with COVID is so weird. Like when I did one of my first interviews, it was the first interview I ever did with a mask on. And I mean, interviews aren't a problem. It's just, it's really awkward when both people have a mask and they can't really hear what you're saying. And even now, when people are trying to talk to you and you just can't understand them, you keep having to repeat yourself. You're being muffled by what you're trying to say. It's almost like living in China. If you guys don't know, China, they do wear masks a lot. Like, it is very common to wear masks in China. Somewhat due to the pollution in the area, as well as they just feel like it's common courtesy when somebody is sick or feeling sick to go ahead and wear a mask to prevent diseases like what we're using them for. But of course you have to wash your mask or get a new one and things of that nature.
That scumbag, McCaffrey! He took more bribes than anyone. He thinks he's gonna get an honorable discharge if he turns state evidence. He just squealed. He's under armed protection in Witchett property down in Newport. Some apartment behind a car park. Torch that place. That's it. Flush him out and you'll put them down. Make sure he never talks to nobody.
Alright, we gotta go get this guy in witness protection program for Ray. Probably because he's about to rat him out. Honestly, I wish I could just let that happen. I don't really like Ray. But I can't do that. To progress the mission, I must. So, let's go ahead and help him out. Now, what you have to do is once you get here, it's pretty clear to get here, but it doesn't really let you know what to do afterwards. What you have to do is try to throw a grenade through the window, which is just a pain. I suggest standing kind of far back and throwing it to test where the grenade's going to go. So right there, the second time it worked for me. It might take you a lot longer than that. Then I would recommend having a fast car and a Uzi so you can do a drive-by on them. And that should pop them out of the car. After it catches on fire, of course. Well, hey, bud, you're not gonna run for very far. So having a fast car just helps get right by him and keep up with them. He's not driving the car, he's riding passenger, so he more than likely is not gonna die in the explosion, so you're gonna have to get him afterwards. You can also pit maneuver him, and that could work, but the Uzi just works very well if you can get up to him and keep up and keep hitting the vehicle with bullets. Eventually, it's gonna catch on fire and stop. Now, for this next mission of Ray, I recommend getting a vehicle like a van. Something that's a little bit bigger, to where you can jump on the top of the vehicle, and I'll show you why once I get to the location. But basically there are a few weapons that you can grab that makes this mission a whole lot easier. If it'll let me start the mission.
Hey, kid, over here. An old army buddy of mine runs a business in Rockford. We saw action in Nicaragua back when the country knew what it was doing. Anyway, some cartel scum roughed him up yesterday. Said he'd be back for some of his stock today. He's gonna need backup, and in return, he'll give you knockdown rates on any hardware you buy. I'd go myself, but the old sciatica's playing up. So, good luck.
Okay, well, no help to Ray. We'll go and help out his army buddy. And I'll show you why I brought this vehicle. It gives you probably the best advantage to win this little ordeal, because the cartel's going to come down and attack. And the place that you can get onto and the weapon you can collect has a view of both of the fronts that they are assaulting on. So it gives you the best chance to defend against both of those fronts.
Ray phoned ahead, but I thought there'd be more of you. Can't believe those yellow-belly bastards left me without proper cover again. Well, 3 arms are better than 1, so grab whatever you need. Those Colombians will be here any minute.
Honestly, when I first heard that, I did not understand that he had 1 arm. Even the mission named Arm Shortage, like, it took a while for that one to register for me. But you jump up here and you get a rocket launcher, and it has 5 rockets in it, which is very, very helpful. And they're going to come through the front gate and that side little door over there. My bad, not a door, the alley, the side alley. Now, be careful if you're using locked-on weapons, because it is possible to lock on to the friendly and kill him. Which, if you do that, it will fail the mission. Honestly, I wasn't expected to get hit from the blast from that car on the other side of the shipping container, but things happen. Luckily, it only took away my armor, and there was another one there for me to grab. Alright, can't shoot him. I was about to blow him up, but I guess the weight just ended up killing him after some time.
Maybe I'd still have my arm. If you need any firepower, just drop by and take what you need from the lockers. Leave the cash under the bench. Now get out of here. I'll handle the cops.
And if you were thinking why I didn't use the tank, it's locked. That was on my mind, but something I remembered. So I got the Barracks OL or whatnot. This is one of the vehicles that is on the emergency vehicle list. So I'm going to go ahead and take it over to Portland. Excuse me, that way I can go ahead and drop it off for the emergency vehicle list at the harbor. Looks exactly like the flatbed, but the only real difference is like it has that seating area in the back. It looks like an army truck, but just without the top covering on it. But it's not a bad little vehicle. I shouldn't say little vehicle. It's not a bad vehicle. It has a lot of health to it. It's very agile for its size. And granted, you can't really carry people in this game, but in theory, it carries a lot of people. This would be a transport vehicle.
Stop. We got.
And then once again, I'm going to wait back around here just to make sure it clears through. They have the vehicle. They got me the $1,500, and it's good to go. Now, if you head back to that place where that dude's army buddy is, that Rhino tank should be unlocked. I'm not 100% sure if it's after that mission that it is, but at a certain point, that tank actually is unlocked, and you can just get into it. Which is a pretty fun little vehicle to be in. Once again, little vehicle is probably not something I should use for describing a tank, but it is a very fun, destructive vehicle. Any car that you even hit with that, just like bump into, instantaneously explodes. And it has a load of health to the thing, and you can fire missiles from it. So it is a pretty cool vehicle. And then you also do need that for the emergency vehicle list, is a tank. So it can be fun to drive around, and it helps you on the way to 100% completion of the game.
I know a real important man in town, a soft touch with, shall we say, exotic tastes and the money to indulge them. He's involved in a legal matter, and the prosecution has some rather embarrassing photos of him at a morgue party or something. The evidence is being driven across town. You are going to have to ram that car and collect each little bit of evidence as it falls out. When you've got it all, leave it in the car and torch it. We're both gonna do pretty well out of this, kid.
Now, I don't highly understand why I'm ramming the car to collect evidence to then destroy it in my own vehicle. Well, not my own, but a vehicle. When I could just destroy his vehicle, their vehicle, and the evidence as well. But that probably makes way too much sense, so it had to choose some other way of getting the evidence and destroying it. Now, this one might take a little bit of time too. Just because you had to keep bumping them and getting 6 pieces of evidence. I would recommend a faster car. I didn't really choose the best one to do it with. Especially since the cops come after you and they will try to take you out. So you at least want to be able to outrun them. And I just get unlucky here with a lot of the turns that I come across. Just completely wipe out and such. And then I have to go back, get the package. And by that time, the dude just drove off into the sunset. Oh man, you threw me out of the vehicle at the worst time, man. And so that time that did not go well. I believe I would have completed that or gotten a lot closer if that Yardie didn't pull me out of my car. And then the cops shooting at me while I was in it did not help while it was on fire. It didn't give me a chance to get out of the vehicle before it blew up. So get a different car and try it again. I'm gonna go ahead and skip the cutscene on it too. I actually got the case of the third time as the Lucky Charm was extremely real on this. I just really did not get lucky the first 2 times. Whoa, man, you really curse splatted. Whew. As you see, the package gets stuck in the weirdest spot possible. And I'm slowly dying. I'm about to die. I kind of get stuck behind that car, and then I get arrested, so... hilariously enough. But that does go ahead and put me back at the police station where the police car was used and was a lot better of a vehicle, mainly because I can outrun the police. Secondly, a package didn't get stuck in a really weird spot. And honestly, whenever you hit him, it's best to pit maneuver him. That way you can get the package, and you kind of keep them where you want them. They don't get too far away from you. But the police definitely make this one challenging, just because they will not stop ramming you. But sometimes like that, they'll end up ramming the other officers that are following you, which helps tremendously. And is pretty hilarious as well. Alright, so since they're really on me, I tried to find a spot to destroy it, but I ended up choosing to go back to my hideout and hit 2 of the 1 stars. That way it disappeared, and then just blow it up there. After failing 2 times before, I really didn't want to do something else or get arrested that would cause the mission to fail. So this seemed like the best option. And it actually was. This was greatness. Besides now realizing I had not come back to pick up any of my weapons or armor. So all for this I need is the grenade. Unfortunately, that other cop was there. But it's completely forgiven after the mission is passed. I probably killed 2 police officers and it was completely forgiven. Just due to me passing the mission, so that works. That works for me. I'm fine with that. They're probably not, but it, you know, it doesn't really matter at this point. So now I have one more for Ray that I'm going to do before I save the game, but there is one for this D, and I have no idea who that is, so that'll be interesting to find out who D on the map is and what kind of missions that they have.
I think my partner's a rat. We gotta shut him up permanently. He goes fishing out of his boat near the lighthouse on Portland Rock most nights. Steal a police boat. Make sure his backstabbing plans are sunk. I want him sleeping with the fishes, not eating them.
Alright, hopefully this goes better than the last time I did the mission using a boat. Now it does show you on the map where to find a police boat, but there's a lot easier one to get. If you go by Asuka's apartment, it's right down by the docks, which is a lot closer. I think it's actually closer to the guy as well, but it's definitely closer driving distance too, or walking, traveling, you know. Now, if it's not at the first one, like it was here, it will be at the end on the other side. And all you gotta do is actually run over. It's in the same apartment complex, it's just behind the other buildings. Now, unfortunately, you can't get through it from this way. That wall blocks you. But there is a little health icon in there, so if you're running low on health, you can always come back by that area. And there will be a full health icon just sitting there. I don't know why, sometimes I like sit on my legs in the chair. It's a completely horrible idea. After 30 minutes, I get my legs fall asleep. Get out my chair and I fall. I swear I'm gonna bust my face one day or something. Probably should stop sitting on my legs for 30 minutes to an hour. So you're gonna have to go all the way into Portland, which isn't, it's not long, it's not a long way to go. I would much rather drive to Portland than boat out there. I'm just not a fan of the boat missions in this game. Interesting, yes, and it does, you know, break away from a lot of it and adds a new concept, but I would much rather drive the cars. And I can say that's the first time I've ever seen somebody fishing with grenades. that just blows my mind. Literally blows my mind. Now, I saw those 2 barrels in the back, and that concerns me of what they do. Or if they do anything. So I tried to leave some distance, but as well, this is pretty much getting as close as I can to him. Especially with his damage being so far gone, he only needs like a shot or 2 before he explodes. And bada bing bada boom, literally. Honestly, that one was really easy. He didn't even put up a fight. And I don't see why not. The dude obviously had grenades on him, was fishing with them. I guess he was smart enough to fish with them, but not kill me with them, so hey, that works. That's fine for me. Go ahead and go back to the docks. And get a vehicle and then go back to the safe house and save the game. That way I'm prepared for next time. I still have Ray's mission as well as that D, which I'm very curious of what that is. If I had to make a guess, just anything, I'd imagine Diaz, just because of the cartel. I don't know. It could be the DEA for all I know. I like how it just doesn't tell you and it's like, oh, there's a new mission. Like, you would know to go somewhere and just... I don't know. That is something that will be found out at a later time. If it's Diaz, that'll be just hilarious. I might need to start doing fortune readings at that point. And go ahead and get a car, excuse me, to replace the ones I've lost in my garage. I would like to get another one, but I'm just gonna get this one for now. Maybe next time just go steal one. But yeah, that about reaches the end of the video. And if you did watch the video, I'd like to thank you for watching and supporting the channel. Always remember to leave a like if you did enjoy the video, as well as subscribe to the channel to go ahead and keep up with new content. I just have a new video dropping very shortly, just in another day. It's going to be back to that day by day or day after day type thing. So once again, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.